Hey guys, welcome back to another team list video here. We're here with Ollie. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to make my debut on the Fanatics.
So what do you rank at last year? What do you finish
I
at?
ranked I ranked number 14, which is it's good rank. Couple key mistakes sort of got me out of the top 10. But I'll give credit to Fanshawe and like Fanatics just for all the inside information that got me that good rank. But yeah, rank number 14.
Yeah, and just quickly, have to thank everyone for 5,000 followers. It's been a roller coaster of a journey. That's one way to put it there. But let's get into it. So on the Broncos side of the ball, you talk us through your beloved Broncos team here.
Uh so they were like playing around with sort of Ezra last week. He was named to start last week and then he got benched. But now he's back in the starting six and Ben Hunt is on the bench. I mean, I do see where they're coming from because it's Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds. They're quite old. So having both, I don't know. I think Madge is probably just trying to play around and see what works because there's a lot of talent in with like Ezra Reynolds and Hunt and trying to like get that all together. But I mean, it's pretty stock standard, sort of like just we're pretty fit right now, so kind of all the big names are, you know, up on the team list, so that's good to see.
And who do you think's a buy throughout this Broncos team?
Uh I would definitely say, hmm, out of there's no one that's really like standing out, but if I was to say one thing, would be Reece Walsh is, I reckon, definitely a hold, just because we didn't score a point against in round one, and he had like 25, and he looked great, and it was like he'd pass the ball to Ricky, and Ricky would drop it, and like the game was going terribly, and he still scored 25, and he looked good, so I think, and he's got such upside, so I mean, he's definitely a hold if I was to say anything about Brisbane.
Yeah, I just feel like the Brisbane team, you look to hold Walsh and Haas
Yeah,
for well close to the rest of the year there, but other than that, really nothing else there to really talk about, is it?
nah,
They're sort
nah,
of a fantasy irrelevant team.
yeah, I agree.
But on the Eels side of the ball, Will Penasini, one that I brought, and I was quite happy with him for 36, and they just got put on 50 by the Storm there. So I do think Penasini could put in a good score. Like if he scored that try, he was going for a 50 there, and he was sort of saying it was good. So out of Penasini and Sean Russell, I still do think both of those are good buys. They look quite good there. And then I've seen a lot of teams holding Mitch Moses. Where do you sit with Mitch Moses here? Hold or sell there?
Uh I don't know. I feel like if you made the risk to bring in Moses, you might as well um, hold him for a little bit longer. Um, he does have that injury risk, but I'd probably just like hold him for a couple of rounds and definitely sort of see if you can move on. I mean, you could probably trade Moses to someone like Atkinson, who's just, I would say, definitely just a better option. Um, but yeah, I'd probably hold him for a little bit if you have him.
Yeah. And I definitely don't think the Eels will lose that big every single week.
Nah, nah, probably not.
But yeah, so going down, you see Jermaine Hopgood. He took the 1 week suspension there, so I think he's a he could be a hold, could be a sell. Just depends if you have like the Martins and Colquhouns and like Lasardi and that, or you need a trade to get him there. But other than
Yeah,
that, I do think you can hold or sell. It just sort of depends what you want to do there.
yeah. I mean, I'm this week. I'm just using him. I think it's almost kind of a benefit because I can just use him as a loophole, and no one else has like everyone's not doesn't have Hopgood, so it's kind of nice to just use him as a loophole for one round, and then I get him back. And I thought he was great, so I'm definitely holding for
Yeah,
sure.
he scored 49 with a sin bin and
Yeah,
just he looked good there,
yeah.
but nothing really else on the Eels team here. Um, so the Warriors, how good did they look against the Roosters? Jeez, they played
Yeah,
well.
yeah, they did look really good. They did like the Roosters. I don't know, they didn't really look all that good. You would have thought like DCE might have. I don't know, was probably like expecting better things from him, but yeah, the Warriors did look really good. And they could have like another sort of up year. Um, but yeah, they're a good team to watch. So hopefully,
Yeah, and I think you're talking about the Warriors. Not much in the back line. I'm really interested in here, and I don't really think there's many fantasy options. Like you saw a good game from Fisher Harris there, but like he doesn't do that every week. The only really
Mm,
one I'd maybe look at it a pod option is Capewell, but you saw he still only got a 48 there with missed tackles and that, and them having Vayamaga and Halasima on the bench. So it screams if you're a Laban owner, get off Laban right now. But it also could scream that if you're a Capewell owner, then like I feel like their forward rotation is too like unknown. Like I think Aaron Clark only played 49 minutes on the weekend, and he was one of their better players, or like one of their better players last year. So I do think
yeah.
for me, I'm just looking at sort of staying away from a lot of these Warriors players. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't think I was kind of looking at Laia Tower for a bit in the preseason because there was just no center options and he was cheap and I was like, oh, everyone's not that great, so I'll go with someone cheap. But then he did pretty bad, I think. And but yeah, everyone else, Kurt Capewell, he did do pretty well, and I was thinking about him, but um, yeah, everyone else, I think there's just better options in different teams. So yeah, probably another not as much fantasy relevant sort of side.
Yeah, and I do think that if they could be a fantasy relevant side for sure, like if Aaron Clark keeps dropping cash or like and also Wade Egan, like he's just not really an option this year. But going on to the Raiders side here, and again, it's just a team that their backline's not really relevant. But Ethan Sanders looked incredible on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked really good. He did have that try which like boosted up his score a little bit, but I think for someone at that price range and who's just got like the starting seven role,
Kicking
just someone,
goals too.
yeah, you just got to have like they'll, even if he scores 40, he's still making cash, and everyone else has got to have him. So yeah,
So
definitely
if
must
if you're
have.
not a Sanders owner, where do you sit with him? Do you hold him or like what do you do with him?
If you're not a Sanders owner,
Yeah, like so do you buy him or like where do you sit with him?
well, it's actually really difficult because um, there's like so many after one round. There's been so many things that like have opened up. Like Noah Martin, everyone thought he was in for one round, so not that many people brought him into their sides. And then boom, he's now got the role. And then there's even people like Lasardi. If Lasardi wins a spot, then that means he's going to be like definite must have. Um, and then there's just so I don't know. There's a lot of people, oh like Couchman, Atkinson. There's a lot of people that are must haves now. So I mean, you got to kind of. I think Martin I'd rather have instead of Sanders, but you just got to kind of figure out which players are the most important and
Yeah,
most
like
urgent to bring in.
with the talks about Matty Nicholson being out for maybe 16 weeks there of shoulder surgery, and Martin, like he's played I think 2 games in fantasy and he scored both games, and he looked like even without those tries there, he still gets 45, low break even now. I think negative 20. Like
Yeah,
even if he comes out and scores a 40, he's still making 60K for you there. So I think the only really Raider I'm looking at now is Noah Martin because over Ethan Sanders, like we got that try in that, but I sort of prefer Cody Walker over Ethan Sanders. Bit more of a pod
really.
option there, and yeah, but other than that, I don't really think there's much more on this Raiders side here. And the Roosters versus the Hot Rabbitohs, they look quite good on the weekend. But the Roosters here again, how good did Tedesco look though? Do you have any interest in sort of bringing him in as a pod, or is there just too many
Yeah,
good fullbacks around?
I actually like. I definitely probably would, especially towards like the back end of the season where you're just trying to get like guns. Like I don't know if he's, it's good score. So I mean, probably not right now because I'd prefer to bring in probably steer away from buying gun wing fullbacks and just maybe stick with the ones I have. But towards the back end of the season, definitely if he keeps that form.
Yeah, and he did look really good there, and he's definitely one just to keep a eye on there, I
Yeah, for
believe.
sure.
But going down, Robert Toya, he's one that got was a little bit of people had interest in him, and he was out last week. Do you think that he's just one that you sort of watch for a couple of weeks? Like he's already priced at 550-ish K there.
Yeah, he was actually in my preseason side right up until like kickoff or whatever. And then you go on Instagram and he's injured. So I thought I actually was pretty big on him because I just looked at his scores. They're decently consistent. There's like some 20s, but he also scored like 99. So it's like decently consistent with some upside. And I was just like, second year, and I just thought he made Origin, and he just seems like a guy that's going to be like a big name center, and not just in like the mid ranges. So I thought he was going to take that jump. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't have him now, and I'm not going to trade for him because there's more important guys. But yeah, I'll just keep an eye on him and maybe see if I can get him later on.
Yeah, and then if you were in the Sam Walker ownership, I think there's about 8% of people that are. Do you just cut your losses on him, or do you expect him to bounce back and you sort of say, "Wow, it was absolute star for me holding him."
Uh I would probably just trade him. I'd probably trade him to, if you don't have Dewey, if you don't have Sanders or Atkinson, like there's sort of a fair bit of options for, your half spot. So yeah, I'd probably trade him.
Yeah, I'd look definitely to trade him there. And then in our forward pack, I do think there is someone that comes really interesting this year. So like this week. So Blake Steep is good gone to the bench. Looks like he's going to stay there. Nat Butcher gone to the bench to a Wong in that starting spot there. But then you see Spencer Leno out for a while there. So I do think that with Blake Steep going low in minutes like 30 or 28 there, do you have any interest in Egan Butcher at all? Sort of a discount there for 4 to 6 weeks, hoping for big minutes, or is it just sort of one that you don't think he'll get those minutes there and he's not really one to keep an eye on?
Uh I don't reckon he'll get the minutes. Someone
438K.
Yeah, that is a good price, but there's probably just I've probably got my like eye on different players. One guy who I reckon, like Sure Wong, if he gets really good minutes, like he scores really well. So I'd be looking at him.
Yeah, he's going to be interesting there, but I just think there's so many edges on that.
Yeah, that is true.
He only played what 40 minutes on the weekend there.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
I
know.
just don't really know about him. But I think that both Egan or Egan and as we call him and Tua Wong are one to watch there.
Yeah. All right. The bunnies, is it? All
Yeah,
right. Do you have any thoughts on them? I don't really have many bunnies to be honest.
I think yeah, Jai Gray got that 36 there. I'd think he's one I wouldn't be looking to buy him, but definitely a hold there. Like they put 40 on him, he should score well in better weeks there. But geez, how good did Latrell Mitchell look in the centers there?
Yeah, he did look really good.
It's
You
like
never know with him though. He could like just like next week just absolutely shit
yeah,
or gets
it's
injured.
one where you sit there and you're tempted, you're like, fuck, I want to go on, but I feel like for me, Latrell Mitchell, like he's 750K, he's a center. It's just way too many unknowns there that I just
Yeah,
think you
yeah,
can't go him there. But you never know at the end of the day. Like he could end up performing really well. But he's one to keep an eye on. The same as I think Cody Walker came out, got that 50, looked really good there. Almost scored that try too, which would have been a very very good try if he was able to get that there. But yeah, I
yeah.
do. For me, they're both probably holds, both probably
Mm.
holds, but wouldn't be looking to buy them there. And then a lot of people call me crazy for not having David Feeder in my team there, but I was laughing. I was on the aeroplane like
Do you
watching
not
it.
have David Feeder?
Nah, I got rid of him late so I could get Layard's points. So
Risky.
I could get Lasardi's points there. But like I look at it and I just thinking like I was laughing, just got up the aeroplane, like just checking fantasy. I'm like, fuck, what's he on? Like, surely he's bad. He saw that line break try assist and I was like, fuck, I'm in for a long night here. But then
Yeah. What did he
yeah,
get? What score did he
got a
get?
35 with a sin min there, and I was sort of laughing there. But do you think that from like someone in my team or other teams that don't have Fafita, is he a must-have, or do they just go through that back line so much there that you can sort of say he's too lazy and it's sort of a risk that I can take than not buying him?
I'm gonna be honest. I think that's like probably a risk you could actually pull off because like he looked like last year. I don't know. He looked terrible, and then like the year prior to that, he was like a captaincy option every other week. But he's inconsistent, and yeah, you said he's like pretty lazy sometimes. So I don't know. I feel like he's definitely someone like everyone was saying he's a must-have, but I could so see it going the other way and him being just pretty bad. So
Yeah, like,
I think it's fair enough. I mean, you could definitely pull it off.
and then Weddy's in the UNI Aiken train. Only got those 60 minutes on the weekend, but pumped out a good score there. Do you think? he's an interesting one or not really?
I think he's pretty interesting. He's such a he's a good fantasy player. He just sort of he'll go up to someone and just like tap them and then get a point
Yeah,
for attack for
sort of
attack.
like Yo, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He like doesn't really do all that much, but if he gets the minutes, then he's like, a point per minute type of guy. Um, but yeah, I guess keep an eye on it and see if like how much Tallis Duncan takes him away from that. But if he gets really good minutes, then it's like, must have because it's like that's what you want out of your center is an edge back rower who's like just consistent. So
Yeah, and then not really much else to talk about there. And
nah,
those Tigers for us here. And oh yeah, look, Dream Bull is one that I'm sort of iffy on. I think you give him a couple weeks, see if he can improve there on what looks like a better team there. But yeah, I don't have much interest in him. But Makasini, where do you sit with him? He got named on the centers, which I would have liked the wing spot, and obviously at 250K, you're still buying him there. But do you think that it's as slam dunk of a play to like play him in your team and that, or does he not do as well in the centers there?
I actually really don't know because I don't have like I can't loop him with like Setutu or any of the other wing fullbacks or I don't know. I have him in my starting side right now. And I don't really know what to make of it if he's better off on the wing or in the center. Um, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to take the risk and play him because he seems, pretty like a pretty explosive type of guy, like very good. So I'm just going to probably take the risk and start him to be honest.
Yeah, and I do think maybe on the bench there, but maybe you could give him a week there to see how he goes there. But
Yeah.
Adam Dewey, I think he's gonna be obviously I wouldn't blow my team up to get Adam Dewey, but there's just so many mid-range halves this year, like Sanders, Atkinson, Brown, Moses, Dewey. But I definitely think that Dewey, yeah, he's definitely one to look at, isn't he? And he's in my
Yeah.
team. I think he's owned by about 13% of teams there. I do think he'll have a good year there, playing at 70. He always averages about 55 there.
Mm. Yeah,
He does.
he was basically the reason I didn't make the top 10. It's I was either between Dewey or Talakai. And I chose Talakai. Um and then yeah, he like towards the back end of the season, he was like literally like insane. So that was if I had him, I would have got top 10, but oh well.
Yeah, and then Terrell May, like, I think he's one to watch there because he's been said that he only wants to come out and play 60 minutes there. So I do think that he's definitely one to watch there. And Kai
Yeah,
Pearce-Paul, I think he's going to be in for a big year and also definitely one to watch there. But really on that Tigers side, Makasini and Dewey to start the season with me there. And
yeah.
on this Cowboys side, see Chester still there with Laban still suspended. So not yeah, no, not Laban, Labour.
They but yeah, 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 yeah.
He's still suspended.
Uh
Braden Burns still playing there, even though he got that dog shot on Ponga. But yeah, I
mm,
think on this team you really it's you look at Tom Chester. You if you're a drinky owner, I feel unfortunately you sell him. I just think the Cowboys are going to have a really really bad year this year.
yeah. Do you think are you gonna start Chester this week?
Yeah, Chester's going to be in my centers this week over Makasini, but that could change because I do think the Tigers could beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I think I'm also gonna start Chester. He looked pretty good
Yeah, I
in
mean, I got that
Vegas.
45 there, but
Yeah,
really
take that.
not much else on this team. I think they're pretty relevant. Irrelevant. I would still be holding Reed Marnie, but I wouldn't be buying him with Sonny Luke still on that bench, even though he got cut late last game there.
How many minutes did Reed get? He like played the whole game.
Yeah, Marnie, I did. I don't know why they keep listing Sonny Luke there if he's not going to
Yeah,
play.
it's weird. Yeah,
Yeah, who knows what these coaches do when these team lists
yeah,
come out.
yeah.
But you got the Dragons here, and I think there's a couple of very, very interesting options here. Sedu too. He's one that if you're owner of him, you started with him, I'd be looking to hold him, but I wouldn't be buying him. I just think I wouldn't be
Nah.
buying a winger cheapie with so many around here. But Atkinson, 479K here. I think he looked incredible in the week, and obviously his score was increased because of overtime. So it probably would have only gone a 50 to 45 there. But I still think at his price with his break even now, a 45, he's still taking that there. You could expect to flog him from this Storm team here to come to the Dragons, but I think he's as close to a must-have as you can get with along with another two or three players in this team.
Yeah, for sure. He had like no attacking stats, so literally just like wait for a day where it gets even some attacking stats and that like 59, maybe get rid of the extra time, the 50 turns into a 70. So
Yeah. And then
must have.
you see Hamish Stewart listed to start this week alongside Luciano Leilua there.
Luciano Leilua, he's a freak. He's lost
Yeah,
20 kilos, mate.
he's your pod. But
Yeah, I heard he lost 20 kilos and I put him in, but
fair enough.
no,
But yeah,
he
so
didn't do that well.
what do you think of Hamish Stewart and Ryan Couchman both came off the bench last week? What Stewart's list to be starting this week?
Yeah,
What do you-
well, I thought round one, I thought Ryan Couchman was not going to be that good because uh, you have like they're twins, like they're literally the same player, and somehow they both pumped out the same score. It's like wouldn't one. I thought Ryan Couchman was going to get like a bad score, and then Toby's score would be decreased, but they both seem to do just as well. But yeah, he seems like a must-have.
I actually
Um,
think
so,
Ryan's the better player.
yeah, he scored better without the extra time or whatever. I think he
Yeah.
scored better in the end.
But I do
Yeah, I
think
heard that.
Stewart's one that if you're an owner of him, you hold him, but you just watch him with a bit of caution there, and I wouldn't be buying him with him, even though he's listed to start like that late change. Keep in mind there last week.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in the same boat.
But like I will, same with a lot of these players, five at half time and then pumped out at 55. I think if you're an owner of him, you look to hold him, but you wouldn't be selling him there or buying him. Moses
Yeah.
Leo, 63 there. He looked good. 310K. Do you think he's a buy this week, or is he one that you just sort of don't buy and just watch for a couple more weeks?
I don't know because everyone was absolutely like shitting on him, just being like, "Oh, his reserve grades sucked." But then he, comes out and what was it? 63,
68.
68, yeah. And when watching the game, he looked like so good. But I think there's other players that I'm probably prioritizing, so I'm probably just gonna have to let it slip. I mean, the Storm did score like it was a massive attacking game, so that's not going to happen every round. But yeah, I'll probably just miss out on this one.
Yeah, well, I'm a believer that Moses Leo low break even now, so I think that for my team he's one to at least bring in because I don't see with a negative break even there him not going over 450K there. So I'm bringing him and I'm looking at Munster and holding Hughes in that situation there. Harry Grant did have an injury next to his name, but he looks fine. From what I've heard, it's just cramps. Could be only
Yeah,
60 minutes for Harry, but he's definitely a hold there. And then the big contest, Chan and Lasardi. Whereas I'm Sean Bloor is on the emergency. That is one to watch there. And
yeah.
if I was a Lasardi owner, I would try loop or put him on my emergencies or put him on my interchange and have someone like playing after him on my emergencies there. But just in case he gets ruled out there. But do you think any of these two players will lose a spot, or are they just both holds and they won't? You hopefully don't lose it.
Uh, I'm not. I actually have no like. I have no idea because Joe Chan could win the spot, Lasardi could win the spot, or Bloor could take it back. Joe Chan and Lasardi both looked almost equally as good as each other. Um, if you're a Lasardi owner, I'd play him this week for sure. If you don't own Lasardi, I probably wouldn't go out and get him just because of the risk of his spot getting taken. Um, but yeah, if he does get the spot, then I reckon he's a must-have because he scored like the best out of that Melbourne game. I think.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all there for the Melbourne side. Penrith, they looked good, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Um,
did. They did.
the big thing is Isaac Tungo dropped to the bench there, all these reserves, but not really much on this team, I feel. Dylan Edwards, one to watch, but I wouldn't be looking at a gun wing fullback yet. Cleary and Yo, hold them. They'll come back. And Casey McLean, what do you do with him? Got a try, but just went low. I think he's a sell there. Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. A lot of people were big on him, but I'm not really. I don't really. Yeah, not interested.
Yeah, and then on the Sharks side of the ball there, they played absolutely incredible there. But again, just not many options here. I feel like Trindle didn't kick the sorry, Hines didn't kick the ball a lot. Trindle seemed to take a lot of the kicking away from him. And obviously they're not going to put 50 on every single team in the league there. So that makes Trindle could be an interesting pot option. Do you have any interest in him?
He looked really good in that game, and I don't know. I feel like it could be like every year there's going to be like one team that sort of like will play really well. Like, and I don't know. I feel like this year it could be the Sharks. To be honest, they could be the ones to, like break into the top four and maybe actually like play good this year. So, and if they play well, then Trindle's going to score well. But yeah, he looked really good. But I don't know. I'm probably a bit heavy on the halves. I've got like Cleary, Dewey, Brown, and I want to get Atkinson. So I'll probably skip, but he could score well.
Yeah. And then not really much else there. Jesse Colhoun,
No,
he pumped out a decent score there, so he's just a hold, isn't he, there? And anything else really on that side you want to talk about?
not really.
Geez, there's not many Seagulls players either. Not really much here I'd really talk about. Watch maybe Ruben Cotter for his price drop there, but maybe watch Jamal Fogarty there. Tom Trbojevic could be an interesting pod, but not really interested in him there. Other than
What
that,
score did what score did Turbo get?
Turbo got 65, I believe.
Oh, like that's it's a good score. Like he's so
67.
risky. He's so risky, but I'll probably
But
probably skip him. But that's a good
obviously, if
score.
he can stay fit, he's going to be a really, really good option there.
Yeah, it would
But
be.
that's just the if he can stay fit side there.
Yeah,
But you
for
think
sure.
really on the Seagulls side you're interested in?
I don't know. Like, if what would you do if Turbo scored another 60?
I mean, for me, my wing fullbacks, I've really got Walsh, Ponga, and Falango with
Yeah,
Makasini and Chester and Leo. So I probably wouldn't be looking to buy another wing fullback. But I mean, if he scores another 60, I still would think it's risky, but it just depends how much you risk you're willing to take there.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Make it interesting if he got another good score this weekend.
Yeah, and then on the Knight side of the ball there, Ponga, he looked really good. Do you think he is back to his best must-have performance, or is he just one that you keep watching, and if he gets up to 700K, you just say, oh, whatever. Like, that's unlucky.
Uh I don't know, because it's every year there's going to be one player that's like really informed that whole entire year. Like it'll be just like one random player. Well, it's Ponga, so it's not a random player, but he is, like he's kind of Ponga, like he's really good. So he has the potential to, go the whole season and play really well. But it's if you're like willing to risk the injury, but also his inconsistency. I've got Reece Walsh, and like most teams do, so I'm probably going to stick with Walsh. But I don't know if he plays well. I'll probably just have to take that. Then I'm probably not going to get him. Maybe later.
Yeah. I think like I'm an owner of him, so I'm definitely going to hold him there. But I just think there's a lot of risk in the Knights, but they do have a good draw to start the season with there. And then Dylan Brown, he's definitely one to be held. I feel like that 36, it didn't look amazing for him there, and it probably 37 he got won't be amazing for a couple of weeks there with um, Sandon Smith being more of the kicker than Fletcher Sharp is. But I do think he's
Yeah,
just one to hold. Like even if he comes
yeah.
out 37, he's not going to lose much money there, and he can go big any
No,
given week.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah, because everyone owns Brown, so there's not much risk to having him, and not much to get. Like if you sell him and Brown does huge, then you're going to get like absolutely burned because everyone else has him.
Yeah, and then Jermaine McEwen there. Where do you sit with him? Is he one to hold? Like he got a 36 and 60-ish minutes there. Thomas Cant's on the bench. I wouldn't be buying McEwen, and I'm not an owner of him either. But if you weren't an owner of him, would you be buying or would you be looking to sell?
Well, it depends. Like if you could use McEwen's cash to like help you, if you use like do McEwen and another player to get someone like Dewey or something. Like there's a good trade to do, then I'd do it. But I'd probably just hold him if there's more urgent trades to make.
Yeah,
And
I mean if
see what his minutes are like.
you're trading out McEwen, that's sort of a waste of a trade there. And then
Yeah,
the last game of the weekend, and we'll mix it up and we'll start with the Titans here. Um,
yeah.
yeah, on the side, still no Jacob Patson here. He's still on the reserves there, so he looks like he just hasn't won a spot there. And not really
Mm.
much to talk about in the Titans. You've got a couple cheapies there out of Faye and Mooney, Howe, and Cooper Byer. Do you just agree that you wouldn't be looking to buy any of them unless Howe? Like, like the only one you'd be looking to buy is Howe. Like he got 40 points in 80 minutes there on my reserves. Low break even this week. I think it's below zero. Are you keen in him or is he just one you let go for the keeper?
Uh, I don't know because Patson could win the spot back. And it was like a head knock, but yeah, and then it's weird. It's like he comes back and he didn't get the spot, so who knows? But Patson could win the spot back. Um, I'd probably avoid just because of that.
Yeah, but I think it is one that if he doesn't win the spot back, then he'll be good, and I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if he does do really well there. Um, anything else really on this side that you're interested in, like Bai and Fayamanu are both avoids for now. Bo Firma with no centre position now. I'm not keen on him.
Mm.
Keanu Kinney, where do you sit with him if you're an owner of him?
What did he score?
I think he got a 40-ish.
Yeah, like it was I don't know. They got kind of pummeled. So, you know, I
39.
don't know. That yeah, that could be like a day where and like Keanu Kinney, he scores pretty huge when it's a good game. So I'd probably hold him, see if he can pump out, like get one of his big scores that he's like, he's got like quite a few times.
Yeah, a couple of like tackle breaks there, and the Dolphins aren't going to be as a good a team as the Sharks will be either.
No,
Keep that
no, they won't be.
in mind. But then on the Dolphins side of the ball there, um no again not really much here. I don't feel fantasy wise. I don't own a single player on my team, but just Herbie Farnworth, good game from him. He's going to be one the best center of the year. Like you hold him if you can buy him. He's a luxury to buy. You buy him. But anything else you're really interested in on this Dolphin side of the ball?
Uh, I mean, Selwyn Cobbo, a lot of people are interested in him. Um, but he the Broncos are like in a really attacking side, and like people were interested in Cobbo because the Dolphins are really attacking. But he's going from basically like a very similar team to another similar team, and I'd say the Broncos are probably like a better team. So I don't know. A lot of people were interested in him, and then he got like a 30. So
Yeah,
I don't
like
know. I don't think he's good.
they go a lot through Jermaine Osaka's edge too. Like I do think that Cobbo just sort of like they sort of saw it where you had Jermaine would score tries and score points now, but Jack Bostock wouldn't score many. Like I do think that that's
Yeah,
just sort of gonna like that's their favourite edge there is the Osako edge with.
yeah.
Does Herbie play on that side or is Herbie on the
Nah, Herbie's
Cobbo
with
end?
Cobbo.
Yeah, so Herbie's
Herbie's with
something how to
Cobbo.
pass the ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's sort of a bit like Bronson Jerry.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in this forward pack, really nothing to talk about. Is it maybe keep an eye out for Flegler? You see Max Plath back. Trey Fuller dropped out of the 17 by the looks of it there, but really nothing else there, is it?
No, no. Just kind of Herbie. Herbie's the only must-have or close to.
Yeah, and yeah. So pretty much, I think that's covered it all. Any other players you want to talk about or teams you want to go over?
Oh, uh not particular. I mean, kind of. I think there's some like a lot of clear options this week, which is like always like makes it pretty easy when to do trades. Um, just Noah Martin is probably I'd say the biggest one. But then there's also Atkinson, Couchman, Lasardi could if he wins that spot definitely a must have. But yeah, those are most of the big names.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining us, and we'll
It's all
hopefully
good.
see you again this season.
Yeah, sounds great, mate. Thanks for having me.
No, good mate.